Hey, look, there's no denying it. Epique Realty is growing like crazy, and you might be doing the same thing, thinking about joining Epique Realty. But in this video, what we're going to talk about is there's a couple different ways for you to join Epique Realty. Maybe you're deciding to join as a solo agent like myself, or maybe you're considering joining a team. Now, if you're looking to join a team, there's also many different options. Now, we're not going to go into serious depth on this. I do have several videos where I talk about the different caps and splits and different team structures that are out there. But I wanted to kind of go into this a little bit more in detail on what those options might be and what that might look like for you when you're considering joining Epique Realty. And again, real quick, this is Travis Jonty. I'm with Epique Realty, and this is the Agent Collab channel. I would appreciate if you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you get notified anytime I put out new content. And again, if you're interested in learning more about Epique Realty, and maybe you're interested in learning more about the teams, let's have a conversation. All my contact information is down below. We'll have a conversation and see if this is a fit for you. Now, this isn't a sales pitch. This isn't I'm not gonna, coax you into joining Epique Realty. We'll have a conversation and see if this is a fit for you and your family. Without further ado, let's continue on. So here's an interesting little stat I heard just the other week. So it looks like about 1 in every 3 agents at Epique Realty is part of a team. Now, we still love our independent agents like myself. We still love our team agents. It's just a lot of people are going towards that team route. And here at Epique Realty, we do have a lot of options. But what I'd like to do is I want to kind of give you a quick breakdown of what that might look like as a solo agent versus a team agent, okay? So we're going to jump into the computer for that right now. So first, we're looking at as an individual, a solo agent, okay? So we have the standard 85-15 split, which goes to 100% once you cap. There's $149 a month technology fee, a 0.1% transaction fee, which is based on sale price. So basically, if you have a sale price of $200,000, that's a $200 transaction fee. It also has a cap of $500 per transaction. So if you have a transaction that's maybe $750,000, that's going to be still going to be $500 per transaction. And that also has a cap of $5,000. Overall, where it then goes down to a max of $250 per transaction. Okay, there's no royalties or franchise fees, so say goodbye to royalty franchise fees. No annual or other quarterly fees, free E&O insurance, no hidden fees, no extra fees, and then a $99 US join fee. And along with that, let me scroll up here real quick. We do have the declining cap, okay? So we're starting at a $15,000 cap, and then each year that declines until you hit to 5 year plus, which it moves to a $10,000 cap, okay? Until however long you're with Epique Realty. And one little thing I wanted to point out, let's say you started out as a team agent and then later wanted to move into a solo agent, maybe it's 3 years down the road. That time at Epique Realty still accrues, okay? So you don't move from into the $15,000 cap. You then would move to, depending on your tenure, you would move to a $12,000 cap if it was 3 years in this example, okay? So that is a benefit for you joining Epique Realty if you decide that maybe down the road you wanted to move to an independent agent. Okay, and now we're going to jump really quickly. We'll talk about the teams, okay? And like I said, I do have other videos where I talk about teams. We could certainly go into more detail there. But with teams, we do have the reduced fee for members. Okay, so that's $99 a month instead of $149. And then the power teams, which I'll cover here, also receive a half cap on transaction fees. So it's a cap of $250 per transaction. So each one of the teams, so if you're a team leader, you're still going to have the cap that looks like an individual agent, right? The $15,000 cap that does decline. So if you're looking at a traditional team, which is basically it's kind of like a team leader, then you have a couple of team members, and you're not reaching kind of that power team level, okay? Which I'm not going to cover in this video, all that kind of detail. You have the power team option, which is basically you have the team leader, then you have the team member benefits, which is not, it's actually, instead of the $10,000 cap as a traditional team, now you're at a $5,000 cap for the power team, okay? Now the power team, like I said, it does have to hit certain levels of production So I guess real quick, to qualify as a power team, that's where you need to reach a sales volume of 40 million in sales volume or 140 plus closed transactions annually. Okay, so that's where you have to be if to be a power team. Otherwise, you're just going to be a traditional team at that point. It's team leader benefits, the same thing as we discussed. Like I said, this isn't a sales pitch on teams. I'm not going to go into great detail. Family teams, it's exactly kind of how that looks, right? I mean, you can look at this kind of stuff, but basically it's a family team. It could be, cousins, brothers, sisters, husband, wife, that kind of thing. So there's a couple different options for a family team. Unofficial team, that's kind of what we say, like surfer buddies or whatever, just buddies that want to form a team. There's no different caps and stuff like that. Okay, so that kind of gives you a quick breakdown of what it would look like as a solo agent versus a team agent. Now myself as a solo agent, I can now, to be part of a team if I decide to, I can decide to start a team. Like I said, different caveats. I mean, if I have to have a certain amount of volume, if I want to do a power team, there's certain DBAs you got to get approved. Within the state, within the company, that kind of thing. But you can certainly transition to that. So when you're looking to join Epique Realty, I mean, you got to look at your business and what you want to do. I mean, are you a newer agent? For the most part, I do recommend newer agents to think about joining a team because it's just helpful with different levels of coaching, different levels of accountability. I was one of those stubborn people that decided, if I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make it on my own, and that's how I did it. We're still going 9 years strong, so hopefully that continues as we go. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, certain people like certain things. I mean, there's different pros and cons of each thing. What you want to do, right? I mean, if we could certainly talk more detail into that if you have certain questions. There's a lot of things that we could talk about as far as being an independent agent versus a solo agent. Maybe you're already a producing agent with a book of business, and this is something where you got to take a look at your own business. I mean, is this something that are you okay with creating your own leads? Can you hold yourself self accountable? We do have weekly group coaching. I mean, that's an option if you wanted to have that accountability as a portion. That's kind of an off-topic thing, but are you okay with building your own brand? Those are things that you have to ask yourself if you want to be a solo agent. Now, like I said, some of you might be into the business for a long time. It's a simple move over. You're just going to move over as an individual agent. That's just the way it is. That's all she wrote. That's quite all right. We got lots of agents doing that. It's not a problem. But some people are curious, what team options are there? Now, we do have a couple different team options. We have a lot of things that are coming up recently with national team growth. I'm partners with a couple of agents that do have mega national teams, and they're growing nationwide. So that might be an excellent option if you're looking for that a little bit lower barrier of entry. Maybe you're looking for a little bit of extra assistance, a little bit extra hand-holding throughout the business. Because you know what? Real estate is tough. It really is. But what I'm going to do, I'll show you that to the end. So make sure you hang out to the end to see that information, all right? One thing I wanted to add, there's some companies that you might go to. If you're part of a team, you might lose some of the different benefits. You might not be able to reach their icon status or the power agent status. We're here at Epique Realty. You can still reach the power award status. You still get all your benefits that you get as you would if you were independent agent versus a solo agent. So you still get all those tremendous benefits as an agent. It helps make that decision a little bit easier. Sometimes you might be in an area that, like I said, we're still growing, so we might not have your area covered as a team, right? So that you might not have that option to join as a team. So I'd be curious, kind of what your thoughts are. I mean, if you're thinking about joining Epique Realty or where you're at now, I'm curious, what are you? Are you an individual agent? Drop it down in the comments below. Are you an individual agent? Are you a team agent? What are some different things that you're looking to do with your team? I'd be curious to know what that is. And lastly, like I said, let's kind of look at an option of what a different power award team, what a national power award team might look like here at Epique Realty. So let's take a quick look. So we have Epique Realty, the power team. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm part of the power players, kind of group, right? Now there's, it's just a group of agents that decide they want to be part of a family, right? We're all part of the Epique family. We're all family here. But Power Players is just another group that we have. It just provides a little bit more of that family atmosphere, right? But there's a couple of leaders within there that started the Power Team. Now this is a national growing team. Okay, now this just started, and there's going to be some amazing opportunities depending on where you're at. Now, if you're an agent that maybe you have a lot of experience and you want to be part of this growth, maybe you want to be a leader for this team in a different area. Those are things that we're talking about. Maybe you want to be an agent, maybe a team member on here, and you want to be part of that accountability and stuff like that. So if this is something that might be of interest to you, certainly reach out. We have a couple of different Power Team options like this. So if this team isn't a fit for you, maybe there's another team. Maybe you're a solo agent. I don't know. Anyways, Epique Realty, the Power, you probably haven't been listening to me because this slide is up, but we do have the reduced cap to Epique, which is at $5,000 for a Power Team. Now, I don't know what their splits are. I'm sure there's different levels of splits that they have. With Epique Realty as a whole, you can have a split as low as 5%. So if you're looking to do a national Power Team and you want to just do low splits, maybe not provide a whole lot, maybe 5% is an option for you, right? So those are some things that you can look at. But anyways, accountability, production coaching, leadership backed by results. These people that have started this Power Team, they all come from lots of years of experience in the real estate industry, and they're here help you grow your business. Ready to go, stellar buyer leads, high-level CRM automation, high-level, which this is Go High Level. I'm not sure if you heard of it or not, but recruiting funnels. So those are some amazing things if you're into attraction at all. As we talked about, we have the Power Team ready to go leads, immediate access to ready to go buyer and seller leads. They have raised their hand, they want your help. This is the Power Team Accountability Coach, Chuck Wells, individual coaching, small group coaching, weekly team growth sessions. So if you're looking to be part of a team, you want to be just really dive deep into this. I mean, this is a great option for you as an agent, as the leads, benefit sheet we talked about. And like I said, the reduced cap, only $5,000 for more of your hard-earned money while building wealth. And look, like I said, maybe you're an agent that has aspirations to grow a national team. Maybe you want to grow a large team. This is your opportunity to do that here at Epique Realty. We have the structure here to help you. We have agents that have already produced these teams. This can happen. All you got to do is reach out. Let's have a conversation. All my information is down below. Let's have that talk. What are you planning to do as an agent here at Epique Realty? Do you want to be an individual agent? Do you want to be a team agent? Put it down in the comments down below. Until next time, we'll see you on Agent Collab. Again, this is Travis Junty signing off.